It is The Riot on RadioU.
Welcome to a podcast, our second Obi at Home edition, which is fine. Hopefully he'll be back in the studio tomorrow, or if not, very soon, once you feel better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and you know what? Right now, I'm just, I'm down here. I've done a couple of 100 push-ups just in between the show and the podcast.
No, you're supposed to be resting. You're supposed to just sit down and lay down in between. So that way you can have a break, because we did the show this morning and, podcast time now.
Okay. Complete side note. One of my roommates, I was like, yeah, I think I'm feeling better. And they're like, yeah, sure. You look like you're feeling better. Do me a favor there. Go up and down the stairs twice, 3 times.
Just to see how
and then
you
just tell me how you're doing.
Oh, that's not fair. You should know, you could have a problem with that anyways.
Their argument was that I can usually do the stairs with no problem at all. They didn't think
you were doing it right.
I would be able to maybe manage. So it is what it is. So, hey, today in the show, you know what, Nikki, let me pull the list here. I started getting a little put away happy. We talk about, you know what, I will say one of the recurring themes is me looking at crap to spend money on, but it's more than normal. I'm always doing that, but man, we talk about Monopoly games, video games, movies, man, you name it, we find stuff.
Well, we do talk about the new iPhone, which has its digital conference tomorrow, and then Amazon Prime Day starts tomorrow. So it's woven in throughout the show. It is. But you know what?
That's all right. I feel like it's right in the Riot's DNA. That's part of who we are. So, I hope you guys enjoy that. What else do we talk? We talk, Lord of the Rings. We talk about that guy that broke onto the island, the Disney island.
We talk about Meyer and what's in the box.
What's in the box? How did we do that whole break without that joke?
I don't know. But
how did we do that?
At least we managed to get it in here. So it's not for nothing.
Still counts.
Yeah, it does.
Still counts. So, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast today. It's our sincere hope that I'll be back in the studio tomorrow.
Hopefully everybody feels better. But thank you for listening, guys. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, so you guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
So we are together apart. Nikki is at the station. I am in my basement. We are an American family.
Aww.
We're making...
Oh my gosh, now I can never not think that. Oh my gosh.
We're
just the new tradition, right?
We're making it work.
Well, yeah, Obi's there until he feels better, but oh my gosh, that's the worst. But I mean the best. It's just fine.
It's the best.
It's the best.
So if you guys are wondering how Nikki and I are seeing each other right now, we're actually using our iPhones, and we're using FaceTime, and this will become the longest FaceTime call that I have ever been a part of.
I wonder if the phones will even allow it for the entire show this morning.
I don't know. But, okay, check this. That might actually be, you and I right now may be in the middle of justifying our next iPhone purchase.
What do you think? For the new one?
Yes, because, Nikki, we may find ourselves in a position where we need much longer battery life.
So did you see that they are going to come out with them next week?
Listen, the invitations went out that October 13th, which is Tuesday?
It is next week, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's next Tuesday. It's going to be, they're doing a press conference that's happening, let's see, 10 a.m. Pacific, so 1 Eastern. And the rumors are saying that we're going to see a brand new iPhone 12.
Doesn't it bother you or anybody else that the iPhone 12, they're releasing the details on October 13th? Why can't they just do it on the 12th?
Oh, I was like, what do you have against the number 13?
Why can't they just do it on the same day?
I see what you mean.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
There's been maybe not as many holidays that we've been able to celebrate the way we wanted to this year. Then again, some of you celebrated however you wanted and let the chips fall where they may.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
So, that kind of is what it is. But Amazon usually has Prime Day in June. Is that right?
I think it is because, it's normally, early summer-ish where they would have the 1 or 2 day, Amazon Prime Day. And I think it's only really 2 days because of the time zone thing. But, they would do their thing. And then it got postponed. At first, everybody thought it was supposed to be canceled. But then it was officially more postponed.
Well, the official kickoff of it is on Monday.
Well, is it the 12th or the 13th? Did you look it up? Did you find
No, I just assumed that you knew.
Well, I wasn't paying attention. Why do I have to know it? I can't remember it.
Well, I just assumed that you were so tight on Amazon.
See, listen, all I remember is the Apple press conference for the iPhone 12 is coming up next week, and that's all. That pushed Amazon Prime Day out of my head.
Okay, well, you know what? We actually were wrong. It's not Monday. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's on the same day.
They're saying Amazon Prime Day is the 13th and 14th, and that's because of international date lines and such.
For international waters for shipping.
Right. And for how many days it's going to take for you to ever get anything you order on Prime Day. So, but the thing is, like retail, Amazon's doing this, but I feel like it didn't matter as much during the summer, but we're so close to the holiday shopping season that basically everybody else is jumping on board. Best Buy has just announced like their deal days or something, whatever.
Do you know why they're doing that? They're supposed to do this instead of guaranteeing all the stuff on Black Friday.
Okay, so they're supposed to start early?
Not necessarily early, but just more opportunities because they're not going to be doing like for Best Buy or Walmart and stuff in-store things. So they wanted to provide more opportunities to sell you items for the same small percentage off.
Well, the last 2 years, I have bought a 4K Blu-ray on Prime Day.
Yeah.
So,
are you ready?
Will we get an opportunity
we'll
to
see.
keep that?
But you used to do
what's
that.
The word tradition. That's the word I want.
But
I couldn't think of tradition.
How is that going to work when there's been no movies this year to even have a 4K of? It'll have to be an old one.
Well, my hope is that it would be a catalog title that perhaps I've had my eye on for a while, and then there's an opportunity, and the two of us, the music comes up, and we come together in a wonderful moment.
So we'll see it's still next Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, and I don't care if I end up, Target is doing something next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. Best Buy is, and then so is Amazon. So I don't care which retailer I make that 4K love connection on.
You just want something?
Well, yeah, I gotta buy something.
You don't.
Buy.
You don't.
Hey, how else am I supposed to be happy? Can you tell me that?
Listen, that's a topic for another time. We are not doing that now.
What am I going to fill this hole with?
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I realize that I'm not the only person in these circumstances these days, but home internet has suddenly become like water. It's like this really, really important thing that you have to get pumped in.
You need to have the most of it. Obi's at home broadcasting this morning. He's been under the weather, and you know how it goes. You just have to be better safe than sorry, so he's still there. But you have to have your internet. You have to protect it. And you need to have the fastest speed without anybody else bothering it.
Okay, pause. What do you mean by protecting it?
Well, I guess there is no way you can keep them from doing it. But, I mean, internet companies have been honest with saying they do throttle a lot of people's speed when it comes to the afternoon and evening time. And I think now probably any time of the day, they can really pull your stuff back and you maybe don't even realize it.
Yeah, here's what I'm wondering. We just went through, it's funny, we were making sure that my connection was good again, and so I'm going through like shutting absolutely everything on my computer off. So none of these programs get to update in the background, and I love how every one of them asks you like 10 times, "Are you sure?"
Well, normally you let them.
Do you really want to close? I thought we were friends.
Why are you closing me?
Here. And so I did that. I unplugged my Xbox just in case that was auto updating anything. And then, I guess that's kind of it. But, like, I've done it on my end, but it's so funny. The cable company might tell you, like, you have guaranteed, like, we're giving you 100 meg down, asterisk, and 10 meg up, asterisk. And you go look at the asterisk, it's like, we do not guarantee any speeds whatsoever. Never mind.
That was all a lie, is what they put there.
Well, I even thought, like, okay, like, I got to do this from home today. I thought, should I call them? Should I, upgrade my internet another notch just to make sure that I got plenty of bandwidth? And the answer seems to be no. Like, it seems to be mostly okay.
I think you're probably at the top anyways before, like, I don't think it would make much of a difference. Not where you're at.
That's what I was thinking. But I mean, I can tell you right now that you and I are saying that, but my cable company is listening right now. And they're just like, oh, no. There's so much more you can do.
Quick, check your email. There's an ad coming your way right now with some sort of deal. If you just bundle a home phone.
I'll tell you right now, if you would bundle the speed that we could get you.
With your home phone.
Through bundling.
You would be amazed.
It would blow your mind. You've never experienced anything like it.
I think you're good with where you're at, but we'll just have to see.
All right, I'm searching for best offers right now.
See what else you can do.
That probably just generated 10 emails immediately. So, yeah. All right, well, I'm doing my best, y'all. I'm in the basement, but Nikki and I we're still together, even if sometimes we can still love each other even though we don't live in the same house.
We're just from a distance at this point. It's just better this way.
Oh.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, with me being in the basement here, not a euphemism.
Obie's at home doing the show from his basement. It's not like the new studio.
No, it's not. So me being in the basement here, I'm very reliant on technology for communication. We were just talking about internet bandwidth. But the other thing is that I feel like I've had my phone in my hand a lot more than, say, normal over the last day or so. And I have started to reach this point. I mean, I'm not going to say I've never done this before, but I definitely became aware of it. I'm starting to get text messages from people, and I'm not replying right away just because I don't want them to think
that you have your phone with you all the time.
That I've got my phone right in my hand and that I'm doing that.
Oh my God, you never done that before?
I probably have.
It's almost like if someone calls you and you just don't answer right away, don't seem desperate. Yeah, you're supposed to let it ring and you're supposed to let the text message sit for a little bit so you don't seem desperate like you're waiting for them.
Right. Well, that's exactly what today. I got this text message and I answered right away and I was like, bro.
Slow it down.
You probably seemed, they weren't even done typing and you were responding to that message.
They see the bubble of you starting to type back and they're not done.
Dude. So I had to, there were 2 text messages I got, not from you, Nikki. I always respond to you right away. Because you already know how pathetic I can be. So I'm past that.
There's
I'm
no judgment there, but it is funny, we do that all the time. You're just like, wait, just wait. But then you can't wait too long, because if you wait too long, you'll forget about it. And then you're mean the other way.
Also a problem.
So you have to find the sweet spot when you return someone's text message back.
Yep, totally. So I don't know. Okay, well then what to you is the sweet spot? Is it 30 seconds?
I think I probably respond back way too fast on anything, like emails, text messages, Google, I'm always too fast. And I think I should probably wait maybe 5-10 minutes, and that would be better. So I would probably say 5 to 10 minutes.
One of the things I do like about the iPhone is I've got it set to where it basically does that. You get your text message, and then if you don't go back to it, it'll ding you one more time. And I've been trying to be a second dinger where you just wait.
You wait for the second one.
Wait for that second one before you run over there and respond right away.
Well, now you told everybody, though, so they're going to be like, oh, Obie hasn't responded yet. Oh, he's waiting until the second alert.
He's just waiting.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then, they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I'm in the basement, but that just means that I'm at home and Nikki's at the radio station.
I'm here. So Obi is still under the weather. Hopefully you can come in next week on Monday or Tuesday, especially with Tuesday being, we talked about already, Prime Day and the Apple press conference day.
I was going to take Prime Day off already anyway.
Oh, no, you're not.
Maybe it's just for the best.
It's better that way.
Just plan on me not being there because I don't want there to be any time-sensitive deals that I can miss out on.
No, but until you feel better, you're making a smarter choice to be in your basement.
Man, I'm like early days of the pandemic again. Like I've been doing some comfort eating. Like eating some stuff I shouldn't, which is why this McDonald's announcement has got me a little concerned.
What did you think about it? Because, I mean, are we bakery item eaters from McDonald's? Are we going to become that? Or I don't know.
No, to be honest.
Well,
no,
let me ask this real fast. If you could text real quick to 8772 Radio U and just a quick yes or no, does anybody eat any of the bakery items at McDonald's?
Somebody has to, right?
Does that count like the apple pies, the cookies? What else is there?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
I mean, I don't. Well, I know they'll have new stuff now, but like, what else counts as the bakery section?
Well, maybe they're expanding. Here's what I got for you. They're going to do apple fritters. Now, I'll tell you, I like an apple fritter. I didn't used to like apple fritters, but I have. I've grown to a certain fondness for the fritter.
Not supposed to say I've grown and then talk about fritters.
Right, you're right. You're right. So that's one of the things. And they're going to add cinnamon rolls, which, you know what? Okay.
I feel like they did that already. Did they?
I don't probably. I mean, how long they've been around? 100 years, probably.
I'm sure there's been something.
So here's the thing that I find myself on the apple fritters. I feel like those are going to be shipped in. They'll be fine. But I feel like there is just an abundance of mediocre to bad cinnamon rolls in the world, and they're going
to add
jumping
more.
They're just jumping right in. Feet first, don't worry about it.
So maybe they did the cinnamon sticks. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Someone did cinnamon sticks.
Burger King did cinnamon sticks.
Yeah, all right.
Those were also mediocre.
Well,
it's
not going to be great. It's not going to be. And they might start off like could be baked great, but I feel like sometimes it's in the preparation with the inconsistency of like who's working there, how much they care about the fritters. So I don't know if it'll be good or not.
One other item that's coming out. This is all coming October 28th to McDonald's. There will also be the blueberry muffin.
Oh, that's, I think, the most common bakery item you could get. It's just like, all right, never mind. We can't get anything else. Like, does it have at least a strudel thing or like the streusel stuff on top or the?
You know what, okay. I'm looking at a photo right now. I will tell you this is their best foot forward. The cinnamon roll looks like a building. But
it's a brick.
It is. It's not. It is not. It doesn't actually look very good. But the blueberry thing, it's got streusel crumb topping.
It does.
In fact,
something.
They specifically call it that.
Yeah.
Streusel crumb topping.
So that's a little bit more. Probably the dried up apple fritter just crumbled on top.
Anytime you take anything and then you sprinkle sugar on top, you've helped.
It's better.
I'm not saying it's good,
but it's
certainly better than without it.
So these are McDonald's are trying to entice you with sugar more than what they already have. But McDonald's has been having struggling numbers, especially with breakfast time. They're saying that breakfast during COVID, that's where they lost the most stuff. People do not want to go to breakfast as much. They're not going anywhere, so they're not going out to have breakfast. So they're hoping that these new bakery items will bring in some more support.
It'll be a grab and go. Grab and go.
I can't. McDonald's is a treat or a no-no item anyways. I can't start adding bakery items to it, just like I can't get their, the McFlurries that much because you just know like what you're doing.
Hey, look, you're preaching to the choir because you're right now listening to somebody that I may have bribed a roommate to get me McNuggets. Okay, That might have happened.
Well, now just practice the order. Can I have McNuggets and a blueberry muffin?
And a come back, you sound fat.
You're right. A cinnamon roll as well. Thank you for
Thank
you so much.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So I couldn't come in today because of being sick, et cetera, whatever. And I got to thinking, like, okay, that means that today I'm just going to be home.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just going to be here. And I was thinking about some of the artists that I follow on Twitter and the things that I saw them doing when they were at home during March and April and whatever. And one of those, we're getting ready to play Skillet, and that's what made me think of this, is I saw, like, John and Corey Cooper, like from Skillet, they put out, like, this acoustic piano version of one of their songs that they were doing in their living room.
Yeah, everybody's putting the time to good use.
And like a few other really popular artists, like they started a podcast and like they found ways to use that time. And so now I'm feeling a little bit of pressure, like because it's a Friday and I'm home and, you know, I'll be headed into Friday afternoon. Like I probably need to come up with
something,
you know, some sort of a creative outlet, whether it would be, you know, a new, like a solo project that's just me on piano. Or...
Well, there's a couple problems. So you don't play the instrument.
Now, that is a small
issue
to overcome.
It is overcomable. And then also we already have our podcast. I feel like we already have this is our creative outlet.
Right.
So why don't you just play a video game or watch a movie?
Well,
doctor says, doctor's orders to feel better.
I just, you know what? I've got one whole day of quarantine in front of me. And so I just, you know, when people talk about their quarantine experience, theirs may have been longer than mine. Mine was shorter than theirs, but that means there's even more pressure to take this time and create something truly fantastic, because I got to boil 14 days into one.
Why don't you do a blog posting, or why don't you post something on our Facebook page? Why don't you find like the perfect meme for what you're feeling? Find the perfect post and post it at RadioU Riot.
I do like that, because I really like the idea of me just looking at memes all day.
You can do that.
I was going to do that anyway.
And then now that time counts as work time.
And now it's work related, so it totally counts. So, all right, Skillet, like I said, they've got acoustic versions of some of their stuff they did during their quarantine, and they're actually out. I saw they're doing, during the month of October, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays in October, they're out touring, and they're doing drive-in theater tours over the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, I'll be working on my acoustic set. I'll let you know about it.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning. Will you give me a break one time? The Riot, Radio U.
So, Nikki, mask or anti-mask, where are you?
I am fine to wear a mask. I have plenty, all different types, whatever the day, the temperature, the mood might strike, but I definitely am fine with them.
All right. So I consider myself I never thought of myself as a masker, but I guess I am. I don't know. But even this seems like a bit much for me. Italy has actually just come out and said they've made it like national law or whatever. You have to have a mask anytime you're outside.
So like here, I could still be walking around, but I'm not in a place and I'm not around people. I don't have it on, but they're saying there, if you're outside, you have to wear it.
You have to.
Yeah. What do they do if not? Do you get fined or?
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Is like, what can people end up getting? I don't actually see what their steps are that they're able to enforce it. But I mean, I'll tell you, like I've seen in the news and stuff, like I've seen cops like tackling people and tasing them and dragging them out of places.
You think it's like that?
It's probably like that.
Okay, that's what we're imagining.
No big deal. Except they're speaking Italian when they do it.
Please don't take our word for it and be like, yeah, I heard from the riot that's how Italy is right now, and everybody's just, doing all that. That's not, we can't guarantee that.
So basically, I mean, I just imagine Mario and Luigi tackling somebody.
No,
Luigi tackling somebody in public and forcing a Goomba mask on him. Like, you gotta wear a mask.
No, that's not how it is at all.
If you say so.
But in your mind, it is.
They're walking out of a pizza place, each with a slice in their hand. They look up and look over, and there's somebody that's not wearing a mask.
Well,
and they pop a power-up mushroom, and they go.
I'm going to let Obi's version of it just lie where we put it, and just know that in Italy, that did just start. So they're which I thought they would have had mask stuff already, but now it is a requirement.
Yeah, no, it is. And so they say that Italy, they've still been able to kind of curb the pandemic there, that it's still happening, but it's not as bad as it was in the beginning. But they are pretty adamant about not returning to some of those previous numbers. So if you're going to Italy, wear a mask. Be on the lookout for Mario and Luigi.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So how can I make some money?
All right, Nikki, you ready?
Just tell it to us.
Okay, here's what we got.
Yeah.
Now, the people at cabletv.com and highspeedinternet.com, they are looking for someone with your particular skills and abilities, and not just you, Nikki, but maybe some others, that they want to have you sit down and binge watch 24 hours worth of scary movies.
Oh, they did that last year, remember?
Was it with the scary movies? That's what I couldn't remember.
I think it was. I think it was at Halloween. So, yeah, okay. I think they're just doing the same thing again.
Well, they're doing it again, and that $1,000 is still on the table. So the idea is you go to their website and you sign up, and you basically got to fill out a thing that you're like, yeah, this is why I'm so good at it. These are the movies I would like to choose. And they're not making you... Like, they're not going to dictate the movies. You could choose them for yourself.
Does it have to stay in the genre, though?
It does.
Okay, so it has to still stay a horror movie.
Yeah, and they're going to live tweet it. But you know what, though? Like, you could get away with all kinds of stuff if you wanted to say that you were doing horror movies. So, you could do, like, classic horror, like 50s sci-fi horror kind of stuff. The Blob. It came from another world.
Like any movie in space to me sounds pretty horrific. So could it technically still fall under that category to me in my interpretation of it?
I hate space.
Yeah, so that is a scary movie to me.
This is a movie about people in space. It's a horror film.
It's terrible.
All of it's scary. You know what, Nikki? I'll let you go ahead and deal with them as you fill out the form online.
So you can win $1,000, and if you're the one chosen, and then you were saying a Starbucks gift card?
Yeah, Starbucks gift card for like $50, which gets you... Oh, and they're going to give you candy. And like part of the hook is you've got to live tweet the whole event. Mm. So you were going to have your phone in your hand anyway.
It seems like a long weekend anyways.
Right.
You would do this on your own with candy and Starbucks probably, and live tweeting too.
It sounds kind of fun as long as I don't have to watch like Saw or the one with the doll. I guess they all have a doll now.
The Annabelle ones? None of those. If it comes in a movie where there's like 10 in the series already, I don't want to watch any of them.
Yeah, but I might go for Alien, and there's like 40 of those these days.
Oh, gosh, that'd be No, thank you. Pass. I don't need the money. It's fine.
Nikki's she's got plenty of money, kids.
No,
you don't worry about Nikki.
I don't want that money. I don't want that.
And Nikki's got plenty of money and plenty of candy. I'm fine.
If not, I would develop, I'm afraid they're going to... This is actually, how they're analyzing horror movies on your soul and just your body after watching a whole day of them.
And that's the year we lost Nikki.
Yeah, so she just never recovered.
She never came back. I mean, she came back, but she wasn't the same.
Nope. It was the conjuring of Nikki, and I just don't want to.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported RadioU.
Now, Nikki.
Yeah.
Being sequestered to a certain extent by yourself with internet access can be a dangerous thing because when you combine some birthday money with some internet access...
Your birthday money, you mean? Are you shopping?
And suddenly things that shouldn't make sense begin to make a whole lot of sense. And I'll have to tell you, if I had built a wall around my heart, and that wall was there to stop another Oculus device from getting in.
Oh my gosh! Don't buy another Oculus while you're not. When you're under the weather, your guard is down.
Guard is down,
okay.
But the wall it's up, but the gate is opening.
It's hot in your basement, and when you're warm, I think studies show that you're likely to buy more things because you're docile, like you're just content, like a baby.
You're like a cow,
yeah,
okay? You're like a cow.
You're warm, and you're just sitting there, and you're gonna buy things that you never meant to buy. Don't buy a new Oculus. You've already had so many of them.
I've had 1, 2. I've only had 3.
So this would be your 4th Oculus.
Yeah, but not at the same time.
That's a virtual reality headset. We'd have another conversation if it was at the same time.
No, it's not at the same time. Like right now, if you came to this fortress that I've built, there's no virtual reality here. But there's only reality, Nikki.
Okay.
Actual reality.
You kept selling them, though, because you never used them.
Right.
So that's a habit.
But I want to start never using it again.
I know. So don't get back into I can't talk him out of this. I can't. I see the writing on the wall. I see us. Now, I will give you this and I'll tell this to, if you want the new PlayStation, if you want the new Xbox, if you want Oculus, like if you want any of the new stuff, normally we'd be like, hey, wait it out, think about it, really decide. Going into this winter and whatever happens, there's not going to be a lot of other stuff to do. So I'm actually all for, this is the time it would be okay to have all this other stuff. But for you, you've had so much of it, I just don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, a part of it comes down to I've given up on the PlayStation 5 until next year.
Yeah.
Because I would still like to get one. I still want to be playing everybody's golf and some of that stuff, but I don't think there's any chance in anything that I'm going to get one this year. I don't want a new Xbox. I'd love to have a new graphics card. That is like, forget about it, pie in the sky, by and by. I don't even know if they exist. The internet may not even be real. I don't know. So
now, are you looking really hard at the Oculus because it's the only thing that'll probably be easier to buy?
It's that, and it's the idea of playing Squadrons in VR. It really comes down to that.
That I see.
And I'll tell you what, if I'm locked in this basement too much longer, it's a foregone conclusion.
So it comes out on Tuesday?
Yeah. On Amazon Prime Day?
Oh my gosh, don't. Just
let the shopping commence.
Don't make any decisions, okay? Not until you feel better.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, what's the problem with Netflix? All right, that's a bad question these days. They're getting criminal charges in Texas?
Yeah, that is something. I think the quality of some of the stuff is questionable at certain points. They're starting to charge more, and I wouldn't say what you're getting for that. It's not like it was in the beginning where you were just grateful to have all this other stuff to be able to watch. Now you have it, and we tend to not watch as much of it.
So I'm going to name it after our boss, General Manager Michael Barkingham. And that is the don't hate it factor.
Yeah.
Netflix is loaded with things I don't hate. I don't love it. I just don't hate it.
So you might not want to watch it, but it's not, well, some can be terrible, but they can't say that anymore. But it's, the rest of it's mediocre.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah.
So I'm a Godzilla fan, as people probably aren't aware, but I really like Japanese sci-fi, and so they came out with. Know. Oh, you think so?
I think they know. I think they know. They know a lot.
I mean, I've kept it pretty quiet, over the last 48 hours. But Netflix did Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Animated ones. I didn't really like them that much. I didn't. I was like,
I don't even think it did very well for them. I don't think it was just you. I thought they did pretty poorly for them.
Well, it must have done at least kind of okay, because they just announced a new animated series of Godzilla on Netflix.
No, you can't count that, though, because what if Netflix had a deal in the very beginning and it was always set up
Oh, okay.
That in order for Netflix to be able to acquire certain rights, like for movie studios, they sometimes have this. They have to have so many things go out, so many things per year. They have to keep the franchise alive with something. So it could just be that Netflix is required to do it.
Okay. Now, I'll accept that.
Yeah,
I will.
It's probably how it is.
It is. It's probably true.
They have to keep going.
Well, that's the deal. It's called Godzilla Singular Point, but it will not be a continuation of the movies that they've done on Netflix, which I think is good because I didn't like them.
It's a fresh start.
I didn't even watch the third one. Like, I watched the first two, and that was it.
And if it wasn't something that if you wouldn't watch it, then I don't know who was actually watching it.
Well, maybe it was aimed at another audience, and I was not perfect, but they were perfect for it.
I think you're perfect for the Godzilla audience. I don't know about that.
She's probably right, guys.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, you and I are both Nintendo fans.
We are,
That's fair. And we were just talking about how I'm a bit of a Godzilla fan. So maybe we're Japanophiles, Nihanophiles. You like Japanese stuff?
There is a term for that, but I think, we've always wanted to go to Japan too. So yeah, probably so.
Well, something Nikki and I have been keeping our eyes on is that Nintendo has teamed up with Universal, and they announced that they are doing Super Nintendo World in Japan, and they're doing it in California, and they're doing it in Florida at those 3 Universal locations.
So I thought the Japan one was finished, but maybe it didn't open or something for COVID, but I wasn't sure.
Well, it's darn near close. Like, it was supposed to open basically with the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Remember how the Olympics were supposed to happen this year?
You're right. Okay, so it was back then, because I remember seeing pictures of it being almost finished and being very underwhelmed at the size of the park. But for Universal,
it's not that big.
Yeah, but I mean, it's in Japan, so it's not land-wise. They just don't have the same space as like if you go to Universal in Orlando, they have way more space.
Yeah, that's something I learned. If you, even in China, though, where they're not as landlocked, like they did, I watched some of those Disney specials on Disney Plus that showed like Hong Kong Disney. Mm-hmm. And when they show it, you're like, guys,
it's weird how small those things are. Yeah.
Like, it is tiny compared to what we're kind of used to here. But they have announced that even though, it's supposed to be done this year, et cetera, like they're opening up next summer. They say that they are basically shooting to make sure that they are open before the Olympics happen. Because remember, the Olympics have been postponed. They're actually supposed to happen next summer.
And they said that no matter what, they said they will happen next summer, even if things, they're saying that now, but I think they're wanting things to obviously improve, but they were saying even if things were not back to 100% normal, the Olympics would not be moved again. But Japan was counting on tourism, and they were all piggybacking off of the Olympics coming there for the opening of other stuff.
Are you guys sure we should rush to get this thing built in time? That's a lot of overtime. What? You think a worldwide pandemic's going to hit and suddenly we won't have the Olympics? Come on!
Well, the question, too, is also, that was supposed to open first, and then the American ones would. Are they going to just open them all up at the same time? Or the Universal Studios Nintendo stuff, will it have to wait till after the Japan one opens?
I'm sure it will be after. I don't even think that the American one was due to open next year. I don't think it was supposed to open until 2022.
Remember that year, guys. That year will be so full of things. 2022 will be the best ever.
You'll be embarrassed for entertainment riches.
I know. There's going to be so much. Save our money.
Or buy the Oculus Quest. I don't know, Nikki.
That's a side note, Joe. Don't listen to him.
Yeah. She's right.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
It just feels more and more like I should just stay in my basement.